Turning $26 into almost 500,000 in the greatest sports bet of all time.
Thousands of dollars in sports betting with this strategy that I'm about to teach you.
Those subdivisions, I'm predicting that Tesla's stock price in about 15 years will be somewhere around $48,893, which from today's date is roughly 47x where we are today. Which is a lot. Which is a lot.
Yo, YouTube, look, man, we back with another video. Glad to have y'all here. And this time, we dropping some gems for y'all, man. So, everybody want to know what it took for me to get rich gambling sports, man. And today, I'm going to break it down for y'all. Now, I'm going to give y'all 5 sports betting strategies that turned me into a millionaire. Now, I know a lot of y'all come here for motivation, inspiration, and things like that, but today, it's nothing about knowledge, and most of y'all come for that as well. So get ready. We're about to break these 5 things down, and make sure you got your notepad out, got your pen out, and take some notes, man.
You guys, how you can make $100 a day just off $50 bets. Now, these are one of my many strategies that work on a day-to-day basis, which I'm about to teach you. All right, this is an MLB strategy. So make sure you have your notepad ready because I'm about to go through and show you exactly what you need to look for.
It's been 18 months of hard work to get to that point, and I actually cannot wait. I've been building up for this for a very, very long time. And the beauty about the Ascot Carnival is I've got access to all the other jurisdictions around the world. Press of a button and I've got the DNA of every horse. I've got the DNA and the horses coming from Hong Kong, Australia, obviously, New Zealand, Ireland, America. I've got all the access. I've got horses from the Middle East all going over there because I've done incorporated all these jurisdictions together.
Growing up, most of us were taught that gambling is bad. It's this horrible thing. You're gonna lose money. The house always wins long term. And in general, that's true, right? You think about most forms of gambling like slots, like roulette. Those are completely chance games. It's impossible to make money. You've never seen a pro slots player, a pro roulette player. You can't make money doing certain forms of gambling. It is rigged against you. But at the end of the day, gambling just means risking capital for an expected return. So you think about investing, right? You think about Warren Buffett. What did this guy do at the end of the day? He was betting on companies to be successful, and I'd say he had a pretty good career doing it. So gambling just means risking capital for an expected return, and there are absolutely forms of gambling where you can actually get an edge and make money long term, such as poker, such as investing, and also sports betting, which we're going to be talking about in this video. How do you need to think as a sports bettor to actually win long term, get an edge, and beat the books?
In terms of yesterday, we're bringing out the money gun, baby. We going sweep. Let's go. 4-0 night. Let it rain. We had the Dodgers team total over 3.5. We had their first 5 team total over 2.5 for plus 120.
Hey friends, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So I had to share those clips with you because it's absolutely insane. And at this point, I feel like I need a money gun, right? I think that's the secret to YouTube is get a money gun. But anyway, obviously the topic is sports betting. And this comes up because I saw an article in the Business Insider and one in the Wall Street Journal recently about this topic. And then basically there was a study that came out. And the key finding of the study was every dollar that you put into sports betting, you're losing $2 overall, okay? I'll repeat, every dollar that you bet on sports, you're losing $2 overall. So how is that? Like, how are you in the hole? There's a whole bunch of reasons. So one is when you bet on sports betting, you know, bet on a baseball game or a football game or soccer game, whatever, chances are you're gonna lose over time, right? Maybe you win today, but chances are you're gonna lose tomorrow, right? And then over time, even if like say you're 50-50, you're still end up losing, right? The house always wins, so there's that. The other issue as well is that instead of putting that money on gambling, basically, you could have put that money into a savings account. You could have put that money into paying off your debt. You could have put that money into the S&P 500, right? You could have put that money into other things. So think about the opportunity cost. And that's actually a really important concept that people don't think about enough of like, okay, you have $1. Where are you gonna use that dollar to effectively invest to where you're guaranteed to be successful, right? Now, nothing is fully guaranteed with money. I want to make that really clear, but some things have a much better expected value than others. Sports betting is one of the worst, right? Again, every dollar you put in the sports betting, you're going to end up losing $2 overall. So why is that? So one is, it turns out the study used the phrase financially constrained, but basically poor, and just be polite about it, but people who are financially struggling, they're more likely to get into sports betting, okay? Why? Because they sort of see that as the solution to all of their problems. It's similar to playing the lottery. Guys, I understand how this is. I completely understand. You turn on the TV and they're going to tell you, you know, the mega bucks, cash thing, or whatever, lotto bucks, these things. They'll tell you like the amount of money you could win. You're like, oh my God, I got to go buy a ticket, right? I understand that allure because you're talking about quite a bit of money. The same way with the people on YouTube that's like, oh my God, all you got to do is, you know, follow my MLB picks, my soccer picks, my football picks, my golf picks. People bet on golf. They bet on all kinds of stuff. My Olympics picks, people bet on that. And you're going to make, you know, the one guy said $26, turn it into $500,000, like that kind of stuff. I understand the allure of these things. So people think that, yes, Chris, I understand that money is a real thing, but this is the solution to my problem. Don't you see that? The problem is, though, is like, okay, once you start losing on gambling, there's many issues. So one is people, there's a call like the gambler's fallacy, that people think like, okay, if I've gone through a long streak of losing, I'm due to a long, you know, to reverse and go to a streak of winning. So for example, let's say I flip a coin, okay? What are my odds of hitting heads? What are my odds of hitting tails? It should be 50-50, right? I flip a coin, right? And let's say I get heads 10 times in a row, right? I get heads, I get heads, I get heads. On the 11th time, and I'm gonna flip a coin, what are the odds of getting tails? I just got heads 10 times in a row. What are the odds of getting tails, right? Now, some people say, well, you've got heads a whole bunch of times in a row. Well, then the chance of getting tails should be increased, but it's not. It's 50-50. I'm still flipping the coin. It's 50-50. And this is sort of the thing I want you to be thinking about is that when you get in a hole with, say, like a sports betting, like a gambling, you think the only way to get out is to get out of the hole, but you have to realize it's the whole activity is losing you money. Again, for every dollar you put in sports betting, you're losing $2 overall. How else are you losing? And this is sort of what the study covered. It's fascinating. So one is, okay, if I'm putting money in the sports betting, chances are I'm more likely to be a risk taker, right? Like you're more encouraged to do these kind of risks. Another thing is in the past, the proximity that you live next to a casino. So for example, if you may not know this, a lot of financial YouTubers, they all live in Las Vegas. That's a real thing, and I can go through a list of them, but a lot of them live in Las Vegas, okay? And chances are, if they live in Las Vegas, they're close to a casino, they're gonna be addicted to gambling. So the issue becomes is that now these days, I think in 2018, sports betting became illegal in the USA. I think 38 states have that now, could be more, you know, coming. So basically now I carry a casino in my pocket at all times. That's real. And for those of you guys, you know, who do sports betting, these kind of things, you know exactly what I'm saying. And your phone even beeps at you if you're like, you know, are missing out on whatever special offer to get in on. So there's that. So now it is much easier to do these things. You can get loans a lot faster than before, right? Loans come with interest. Again, you're putting money into sports betting, you're taking out a loan to do sports betting, etc. Instead of putting your money in something that goes up in value, just say, for example, index fund, S&P 500. Here's another issue. If I'm putting my money into sports betting, if I'm putting money into gambling or my buying lottery tickets, etc., I'm not paying off my credit card bills, right? By not paying off my credit card bills, interest on those bills goes up every month. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? So it's not just the act alone of sports betting, it's that you could be using that money for something else. I could be paying off my mortgage. I could be paying off my car loan, right? Basically, I could be getting out of debt. So one of the ways to think about money is when you pay off debt, you're getting guaranteed returns. I know it doesn't sound so exciting, you know, it's like if I make a whole channel, it's like, hey guys, pay off your credit card. Hey guys, pay off your car loan, right? It's not that exciting. It's more exciting to say,
Turning $26 into almost $500,000 in the greatest sports bet of all time.
We going sweet. Let's go. 4-0 night.
and here's my money gun, you know, right? That's what people want to watch on YouTube. But I want to give you a full picture of this kind of stuff, right? So also, again, I'll repeat, if you put $1 into sports betting, you're going to lose $2 overall. Why are you losing $2 overall? Because let's say you put money in the S&P 500, it goes up in value. Sports betting, you're losing, right? So you got that essentially difference there. You also, too, if you're not paying off your credit card bills, or for example, you know, you're overdrawing on your checking account, you're going to pay fees with that. Fees on your, you know, late charges on your credit cards, fees on overdraws in your checking, fees on your ATMs, all these kind of things. Like all this stuff starts to add up. And again, every dollar you put on sports betting, you're not doing other things that cost you more money in the long term. Okay, so now I'm having problems with my credit card, problems with my bank account. Now I got a bad credit score. I go to buy a house, I go to buy a car. I'm getting worse terms on loans, right? Now, one is overall, I personally feel you should just pay cash for a car. If you're gonna buy a car, just pay cash. If you have to get a loan for a car, get a cheaper car. That's always been my feeling. I've said that several times. And if you can, avoid getting a car altogether, because then you gotta pay insurance, gas, maintenance, etc. The point being is, and this whole sports betting, article is about opportunity costs. If I put my money into one thing, I can't put my money into another thing. And if it turns out I'm losing money on one thing, right, I'm losing the opportunity to put my money into something that's going to go up in value, or put my money into something that, whereas like I'm paying off debt, so I'm not losing, so much on interest all the time. And I want you guys to think about how like all these things compound, right? All these things compound into being a financially healthy person. Now,
thousands of dollars in sports betting with this strategy that I'm about to teach you.
If you're taking the time to watch this video, congratulations, because you're about to become smarter and more informed than 99% of all sports bettors, because that's the percent of people who will actually lose money over the long term to the books. Plus TV sports betting has changed my life and allowed me to go from a broke college student to now making over $100,000 in profit all-time betting on sports.
We going sweet. Let's go! 4-0 night.
I want you to understand the financial implications of the actions that you take, okay? And also try to talk to you realistic about this kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope you understand the message of this. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you on the next video.